Hi, my name's Heather Palacios. That's Palacios. Formerly, before I was married and then divorced, Heather Smith. Um, I live in Western Maryland and I'm trying to get something resolved that needs to be fixed. Basically, I lost my driver's license for reasons that are no fault of my own almost 7 years ago, and I have had a lot of trouble trying to get it back. I am trying to reach out to any attorney that will take my case, or anyone, a public defender, anyone with legal experience that can help me get this all erased as it deserves to be. Um, the reason I lost my license was because I was in a car accident in June of 2018. Um, my crash itself was basically, I was going 55 miles per hour along with other vehicles on the interstate. It was Interstate 81 South. I was headed towards Bristol. I was right past Winchester, Virginia. Unfortunately, it was in Virginia, which is a hard state to deal with. I was traveling with other traffic. It was heavy traffic, right after rush hour, in between. It was getting dark out. It was almost dark. And I was being tailgated. And whenever that happened, I wanted to switch lanes because this utility size truck is a pretty large truck, about half the size of a Mack truck, a utility truck of some sort. It was white. I remember that much. He was before he rear-ended me, he was right on me, and I was trying to switch lanes. Before I got maybe a couple inches over, he moved up too soon, is what he probably did, and he struck me. Now, when he did that, the Mack truck in front of me, for some reason, slammed his brakes on. So all of that created a domino effect, and there was a huge car pile up. I mean, car after car piled up behind us, and I just kept going further and further into the Mack truck until up to the dash, nearly almost up to the dash, my car, at least over half of my car, was completely smashed in and wedged up under the Mack truck. I was told later that it took them hours to get my car out from under that Mack truck. Obviously, I was already gone at that point in an ambulance. My hand was damaged. I have a scar still all the way down, but I had stitches from here to there. And then my left knee and my right hand was permanently damaged. I have nerve damage on my knee still. I actually go for another appointment tomorrow because I'm still having problems with it all these years later. I have like a huge patch of, like, I guess, scar tissue and some damage into the kneecap now that they're just finding out what's wrong, because it's just been ignored by my doctors for too long, and I haven't been aggressive as enough as I should have been about it. But now it's starting to hurt a lot more, so it's not only just numb in that one spot, because it is numb in that patch of area of scar tissue. I can't feel a thing there, but in the kneecap I completely feel it. So I'm getting that, still ongoing issues with that, and my hand goes numb a lot and tingles. So I lost, I had them issues, and I lost my car. So because I unfortunately did not have insurance for almost a week, and I didn't know, so I mean, that completely ruined everything. I was not compensated one dime. I actually indeed had to pay and pay, and still paying the price in other ways just for that accident, because I am trying to get another accident taken off my record that is now on my record that isn't mine. That's still there. I didn't find that out about that accident that I'm being blamed for. That's a totally different scenario on the other side of the interstate on 81 North. I didn't find out anything about that until it was too late to pursue. It was in fall of 2015, right after the 2-year deadline to appeal and dismiss. I found out that I decided to go back to work, because for a while, for the first year, I gained a sufficient amount of weight back. I was not healthy at all. And the next year, I just spent depressed because prior to that accident, I like literally a month or two before, I had just lost everything in my house. My landlord seized everything and took everything I ever owned almost was gone. And then of course I had a divorce in that process. So I was not doing so great emotionally after all of that, and I just didn't really, I didn't have a car to work, and I didn't really care about a whole lot of things like that. I was very depressed, is what all there is to it, severely depressed. So then when it was time for me to want to go back to work and start living life again, it's then too late, because I find out when when I found out about it, once I was trying to go get a duplicate driver's license because I lost my license. So I was just going to get a copy of my license from the MVA here in Maryland, and because that's where my license is and always has been. It was in Maryland. The accident in Virginia, but I have a Maryland license. I live in Maryland. So I find that out when I get there, that I don't have a license, that it's been suspended. And they gave me a number to call for the DMV in Virginia, and they told me why. And they said that I owed for an accident, and I started to receive documents about that. And I also found out that very same day that I was at the MVA that my address wasn't right in the DMV system in Virginia, the Virginia DMV. So then I realized why I didn't know anything about it, was because they had my address so wrong, I didn't receive any mail. So they have my address, of course, the number, the house number, and then my address is Dawson Cemetery Road in Rawlings. So it's Dawson, Dawson, Cemetery with all E's, and then Road. And Rawlings, Maryland, Rawlings. They had my address as the house number, then Dawson Creek Road in Rawlings, Rollings, Maryland. So clearly I wasn't getting any mail when my address is Dawson Cemetery Road and they have it going to Dawson Creek in Rawlings, which that city doesn't exist anywhere in the country. So I received nothing in time enough to do anything about it, and that alone should have thrown the case out immediately, and it didn't. I immediately pursued it from that angle, and they ignored every request that I've had for dismissal since day one. I've been trying for years now, but it's just been almost impossible. I've asked attorney after attorney to take my case. They will not. I've been to court 3 times since. One was for garnishment of wages from the dead attorney law firm for someone that claims that I hit them in that other accident on 81 North. That accident, I will just go through. I'm trying to be as brief as possible. The accident that I'm being put at fault for was on 81 North. I don't know anything about this accident because I wasn't in it, but I know that the law firm that I am being sued from, that's still an ongoing lawsuit according to them, it's for this one individual. He still wants his money, clearly. I hope he gets it, but he needs to find out that I wasn't the one in the accident, so he needs to fight somebody else. But I've been very unsuccessful at finding him, even though I know his name. I can't find him, and I'm pretty good at finding things, but I still can't find the guy. Anyway, it says here that in that accident that I wasn't in, the one that I'm being charged for, that it was on 81 North, which, again, I was on South, not North, but this one on North, 81 North, says that I rear-ended Vehicle 2, which is the one that has the lawsuit against me, pushing him into a vehicle sideways, and then separately I went on to rear-end a Mack truck. So they have me hitting him He goes T-bones another car, which it shows here that he T-boned them because of me. And then I separately went on to hit a Mack truck. Okay? Then, all of a sudden, let me just be clear that at that point in 2015, I paid, because I didn't know what else to do. I needed my license right away to get it. I was using it, needed my license to get to and from work. So I don't have it, I need it, I'm going to pay whatever I need to pay to get it back, because they told me I had to pay it, I had no choice, and it was past the time to get a lawyer. I was trying to get a lawyer at first, I couldn't do that, so I figured I'm just going to have to pay this and start paying on it. I didn't know what else to do, and I was going to get an attorney. Meanwhile, once I got into work and the process of getting settled in at work, I was going to get an attorney and fight it and get it closed off. But for the time being, I had to pay it. I had no choice. I was getting ready to start work in a week. I had to do something. So the $2,000 that was set aside for a vehicle for me to get to work was then put towards fines. And this law firm, the debt attorney law firm, they got $1,600. They wanted right away just to release my license. And then the fines, the rest was applied to fines. It was over $2,000. So the money for my car was then gone. So I had no car to get to work. So my dad driving 25 miles to and from every day didn't work out. I lost that job. There's another loss. But the accident that they stated is absolutely wrong. And then again, I did go for a garnishment of wages. They dismissed that in 2018 because I didn't have any wages to garnish, so that was dismissed. And then again, I went, I think it was in March of 2018, and they dismissed it and continued it because there was complications with the story, because I had all this paperwork against them. So they dismissed it to continue until way later. And then finally, well, I think that one was in the summer. No, the first one was in March, then for the garnishment, and then in the summer there was the one that was continued. And then finally they canceled it and continued it again all the way up to November of 2018. At that point, I got a statement, that a bill of particulars statement from the General District Court and the Attorney General Assistant. And in that, I just noticed not that long ago when I was going over it to get an attorney again, this states that a whole different accident. So now we have 3 accidents. Mine, the one on the police crash report that I just talked about, and then this one that says, at a location approximately a half a mile south of Route 11, I lost control of the vehicle and rear-ended a vehicle driven by the name unmentionable, causing his vehicle to careen off the road and strike a nearby guardrail. So in one accident, I'm doing that whole scenario of events that I just talked about, and then we have this one. It's supposed to be the same accident on 81 North. All I did was hit someone and knock them into a guardrail. So they have 2 accidents on their own behalf for the same exact case, and that is a problem that I can sue, in fact, if I want to pursue that. And I'm probably will eventually. Right now I just want my license back. So it's a whole mess of things. We got a wrong address, we have wrong accidents, 3 of them, all kinds of stuff going on. And in the next video, if I upload another one, I'll try to explain a little more. But I need my license back to take care of my father, for one, that has stage 4 cancer. I need to get him to and from appointments. My mom's health is failing, and has ever since I lost my license, because I was her main source of transportation as far as we would go places together. My parents are failing horribly. I need to take care of them. I need my license back to take care of my family and go back to work. So that's that, and this is it.